डाउनलोड करें।
Hello and a very warm welcome. Thanks for tuning in to News 9 Live. I'm Kabir Naqvi and we're bringing you this special broadcast of top stories from our studios here in the National Capital Region. And like always, we have an expansive list of stories for you to cover. This is your one-stop shop to understand what the news pulse of the day essentially looks like. We will be talking about why a Supreme Court in the United States is not going to rule on Trump's immunity claim as of yet. We're also going to be touching upon some climate change stories, news and updates from the world of infotainment and sports. But first and foremost, in terms of domestic political developments here back at home in India, the Karnataka government has announced its decision to withdraw the ban on wearing hijab. Now, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah asserted that there is no effective hijab ban in the state, emphasizing that women have the freedom to wear anything that they want. Addressing a gathering in Mysore, pictures on your screens, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah declared, and I quote, "Hijab ban isn't there anymore. Women can wear hijab and go anywhere. I have directed to withdraw the order. How you dress and what you eat is your choice. Why should I obstruct you?" Now, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah further emphasized the freedom of choice for people in the state. He said, and I quote, "Wear what you want, eat what you want. I will eat what I want. You eat what you want. I wear dhoti, you wear pant shirt. What is wrong in that?" Listen in to the Chief Minister, then we'll be back for more.
ಆ ಕೆಲಸ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ದರ್ಶನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ನಮ್ಮ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಬಂದು 7 ತಿಂಗಳಾಯಿತು. 7 ತಿಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಂತ 5 ದೊಡ್ಡ ಭರವಸೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ 4 ಭರವಸೆಗಳನ್ನು ಈಡೇರಿಸಿದೆ. ಜನವರಿ 12ನೇ ತಾರೀಕಿಗೆ 5ನೇ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿನೂ ಕೂಡ ಜಾರಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಯುವ ನಿಧಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಜಾರಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ.
Well, now the controversy surrounding the hijab ban erupted back in 2022 when the BJP government, led by Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai, imposed the ban in educational institutions in the state. The move led to widespread protests and legal challenges, just like the ones you're seeing on your screen, archival footage from 2022. And what's more is that the Karnataka High Court upheld the ban, stating that wearing a hijab is not an essential religious practice of Islam, and educational institutes can set the dress code for their particular students. Following the change in government in June this year, Karnataka Minister Priyank Kharge pledged to review and repeal any regressive laws enacted by the previous BJP government. Now, this included the controversial hijab ban and the anti-cow slaughter bill as well. On the other side of the divide, this is how the Bharatiya Janata Party is reacting to it. The BJP chief in the state, B.Y. Vijayendra, former Karnataka Chief Minister Yediyurappa's son, criticized Chief Minister Siddaramaiah's decision, accusing him of prompting dividing young minds along religious lines. Now, the debate over the hijab ban has raised concerns about the secular nature of educational spaces in Karnataka. He went on to say that Chief Minister Siddaramaiah's decision to withdraw the hijab ban in educational institutions raises concerns about the secular nature of our educational spaces. It's crucial to prioritize education over divisive practices and foster an environment where students can focus on academics without the influence of religious practices. Meanwhile, my colleague Mohammad Wajiullah, he spoke to the former Chief Minister of Karnataka, Basavaraj Bommai, under whose dispensation the actual ban was, it was brought in and became effective.
I am joined in by the former Chief Minister of Karnataka, Basavaraj Bommai. Sir, yesterday the present Chief Minister Siddaramaiah announced that hijab ban will be lifted. People have the right to eat what they want, wear what they want. How do you see this, sir?
See, hijab ban is not there in Karnataka. Hijab is worn in marketplaces, public places, even in assembly also. Therefore, the misconception of hijab ban is there in Karnataka is wrong. There is a dress code act in Karnataka, which is there from 1980s. That we are following it. And PFI and some other people try to provoke by putting hijab. And that law was reiterated by my government, and then High Court had upheld it. Now the matter is before the Chief Justice of India. This being a case, Siddaramaiah wants to divert the failure of his government on all fronts, including non-implementing of guarantees. Now there is a huge drought. He has not released a single Naya Paisa. There is a law and order situation. Congress' own MLAs are alleging that not even a single Naya Paisa has been released for development. There is a financial crisis, and the woman, there is no safety for women in the state. Woman is beaten black and blue nakedly. There are a lot of children issues. Where school children are made to clean the toilets and go into the sewage tanks. So there are so many issues, both economical and social. Instead of solving all this, and the interstate issue of Kaveri, instead of solving all this, he wants to divert the attention from the failure of his government, and that's why he brings up. Other day, just before the assembly, he said, I'll give 10,000 crores to minorities. Did he give? He wants to give in next four budgets. What was the need to talk just before the assembly?
Sir, you allege that they are playing communal politics. You allege that they are not looking into this thing. But the Congress, on the other hand, they say that BJP brings in laws to divide the society. This hijab law also was done to that. People can wear kumkum, bindi as per their tradition. It's the same.
I want to tell my Congress friends, we have not brought any law. There is no ban on hijab. They are trying to create this bogey. It is not there. It's a dress code right from before independence. There is a dress code in this country to the schools. Even when Siddaramaiah was a student, there was a dress code. So it is. We have not brought any law. Congress is trying to spread the falsehood. It is Congress wants to divide this society. See what will happen to the children if they are identified by the religion, by the dress which they wear in schools. The discrimination and disparity and hatredness will start from the school. So this is what Congress wants. They are doing a greater damage, not only now, for the future generation also.
So then they are planning to revoke all your laws that you had put into place.
See, that is a problem, that's irony. When one government comes, they remove the other thing, and some other government comes. See, most of the matters which are in court, they are trying to withdraw. So this is really a totally anti-people administration what we have.
Alright sir, for with this hijab, this thing, will we see any retaliation from the BJP with regards to this, or do you welcome the law? Or do you welcome this?
No, I have condemned it. So your question is wrong when there is no question of welcoming. As far as agitation is concerned, people only will teach them a lesson.
Thank you so much for talking to us.
Well, that was Mohammad Wajiullah speaking to the Karnataka Chief Minister. But you've heard the former Karnataka Chief Minister. Let's also listen into some other major stakeholders here. Priyank Kharge, he was one of the first people who said all the regressive BJP orders and implementations are going to be taken back.
I don't think Mr. Vijayendra is aware of what the Constitution allows you to do and not to do. Whatever the government of Karnataka is doing is well within the law and as per the framework of the Constitution. So I would urge the BJP and their leaders to studiously have a look at the Constitution. See, like I have told you, any law, any policy, any scheme that is detrimental to the progress of Karnataka will be relooked, revised and removed if necessary. That's been our stand very clearly. We will do whatever is necessary to ensure that Karnataka is back on the economic map of India.
In tune with the law and also our earlier stand. The decision will be very candidly announced soon. But the line of thinking of the Chief Minister is thinking of the government and the party. The last government's decision about hijab was totally biased, and it was not in tune with the secular thinking of the country and not in line with the constitutional desires.
You see, nobody demanded Siddaramaiah to withdraw this hijab decision. Entire community, whether the Hindu or Muslim, Christian, they are all together. That too, particularly going to classes, same uniform is required. That has been decided in the court also. And also we have taken the decision. Now, just to please Muslim community, the Siddaramaiah has taken this hasty decision. That is not correct. I will condemn that, and immediately he must withdraw that decision and do the needful. That is my demand. You see, this will not helpful to the Lok Sabha or any election. This is only Siddaramaiah taking this type of hasty decision, which is not correct. That's why I am condemned this decision, and I will force them to withdraw this decision immediately, forthwith.
देखिए, कर्नाटक के जो सीएम हैं सिद्धारमैया जी, उन्होंने जो अभी बयान दिया है, मतलब बल्कि फैसला लिया है कि मुस्लिम महिलाएं हिजाब पहन के सब जगह सर्वत्र जा सकती हैं, मुझे तो लगता है वो स्वागत योग्य कदम है। और उन्होंने ये भी बताया कि जो पिछली सरकार ने जो आदेश दिया था, उसे हमने उस आदेश को निरस्त किया है, उसके ऑफिसर्स को ऑर्डर दे दिए हैं। तो एक सवाल मन में बस ये उठता है कि चाहे सिद्धारमैया जी की सरकार हो या जो प्रीवियस जो गवर्नमेंट रही है, उनको चुना हम लोगों ने, हमने वोट देके उनको सरकार में लाए हैं, और उसके बाद ये लोग सिर्फ अपने चुनावी फायदे के लिए रातों रात एक तुगलकी फरमान निकाल देते हैं कि आप हिजाब नहीं पहन सकते हैं या फिर हिजाब पहन सकते हैं। तो एक सवाल ये उठता है कि उन्हें वो किस बल पे ये काम कर रहे हैं। पहली चीज तो ये है कि हर चीज के लिए चुनावी अभियान जब शुरू होते हैं या हर चीज के लिए उनको चुनावी फायदा राजनीति क्या होता है, तब वो ओपिनियन पोल करवाते हैं। तो जब
See, number one, our chief minister has been always vocal about the food and culture of individual this thing. Since he has made this statement, I'll have a discussion with him. Whatever his directions are there, then I'll have to, put forward from then onwards. I think since he has made a statement, let me talk to him and get back to you.
BJP is started attacking you.
No. BJP does everything. This is very common for them. If at all our honorable CM has said, I think it has got nothing to do with any politics. We don't have to do that, and we don't need that kind of this thing at this time. Somebody would have asked him. Yes. I saw the statement also. There was a crowd. From a crowd, somebody asked. I think when people ask, it's your what he has been standing for. I think he has just said that. So let me talk to him and then get back to you.
देखिए, कांग्रेस पार्टी की सरकार है कर्नाटक में, और हिजाब पे प्रतिबंध उठाया है। ये महज हिजाब पे प्रतिबंध नहीं उठाया है, बल्कि शरिया कानून को स्थापित किया है। अगर राहुल गांधी कांग्रेस और इंडी गठबंधन की सरकार देश में बनी, तो इसी तरह से इस्लामिक कानून, शरिया कानून लागू होगा। यूपी में योगी जी की सरकार ने अगर हलाल सर्टिफिकेशन पर बैन लगाया है, बिहार में मैं नीतीश कुमार से कहा हूं वो भी बैन लगाएं। मेरा मानना है कि देश में कांग्रेस और इंडी गठबंधन अगर जहां है वहां इस्लामिक कानून धीरे धीरे लागू हो रहा। कर्नाटक में जिस ढंग से कांग्रेस ने हिजाब को हटा करके शरिया कानून को लागू करने का ऐलान किया है, भारतीय जनता पार्टी इसका विरोध करती है, और भविष्य में कांग्रेस की सरकार जहां सर उठाने की कोशिश करेगी, भारतीय जनता पार्टी इसका विरोध करेगी। ये सनातन के खात्मे का एक तरह से एक सुनियोजित तरीका है। एक तरफ मुस्लिम समुदाय हलाल मीट के माध्यम से, हलाल सर्टिफिकेशन के माध्यम से इस्लामिक कानून लाद रहा है, दूसरे तरफ कांग्रेसी सरकार कर्नाटक में शरिया कानून के तहत हिजाब को लागू किया।
Well, now my colleague Mohammad Wajiullah joins us on the broadcast here as well. Waji, you've been speaking to the former Chief Minister. I'm sure you've gotten in touch with several Congress leaders over there as well. We know that the political leaders will either be sitting on the fence or welcoming it or condemning it, depending on where they are in the opposition or the ruling dispensation. But the word on the ground, logo ka kya kehna hai? That question that you took to Basaraj Bommai, let me take it to you. Have the people welcomed Siddaramaiah's announcement?
Two camps when it comes to this question. You have the people who are supporting the BJP, you have the people who are supporting the Hindu Jagran. They have opposed it. They have said that, well, Muslim countries have taken away hijab from their curriculum, then why do we have something like this? This is nothing but a way to enforce the Islamic culture into the Indian tradition. While on the other hand, you have a lot of welcoming appreciations from different sectors of the society, where they have come out and said that it is a time that the Siddaramaiah government has replied to bigotry, and it's the first time we've seen something like this. So you have two contradictory versions when it comes to this particular thing. But on the other hand, the people who are actually affected by this law, the Muslims on the ground, have welcomed it. They feel that somewhere or the other, their kids who are not able to go to schools and colleges because of this hijab hijab ban implementation will now be able to go back and get that education. We've also seen Muskan, the girl who came into the highlight when this hijab issue happened, when she was chased by the right-wing goons and she shouted Allah Akbar in the middle or in her outside her classroom or outside her school. She also has welcomed it in a video, saying that she thanks the government for bringing this. Now this will help those girls who wear hijab and who wear the scarf, who follow the tenets of what their religion tells them. But on the other hand, you have Hindu organizations who have come out saying that, well, this is not a welcoming thing, this is nothing but a way to move towards an Islamization form of this thing. Well, how much of that is true or not, that the Chief Minister yesterday itself had cleared it, saying that India runs on the Constitution and it's their fundamental right to eat what they want, wear what they want, and I am nobody to interfere in them. So the law of the land, the Chief Minister of the land is very clear with this, that people don't have to worry about the hijab ban anymore. They can wear what they want and go write their exams or attend school. So that is what will prevail as of now, because that's what the Chief Minister says.
Well, Vaji, many thanks for joining with us and helping us out with the latest details. We saw that crepe bandage on your hand as well. We hope that you get well soon. Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to slip into a quick break over here. However, we're going to help you stumble upon Money9, your secret weapon for mastering finance and thriving in the economy. Now, you can dive into the unparalleled financial wisdom with the Money9 application, the ultimate application to decode finance and pocket real-time cash. Grab control of your financial journey starting now.
जानना है तो देखिए, समझना है तो सुनिए, सीखना है तो पूछिए और कमाना है तो खरीदिए। जानकारी, सलाह और निवेश सब एक ही सुपर ऐप पर। पैसे का सवाल है तो जवाब है Money9। आजादी पैसे की, अभी डाउनलोड करें।
Welcome back. You're watching News9 Live. Now, Swami Narayanan Temple has been vandalized with anti-India and pro-Khalistan slogans in California in the United States. The incident happened particularly in Newark City. Now, the Hindu American Foundation shared images on the social media platform X, revealing hateful messages that we're putting out on the screens. However, we've had to blur them out for obvious reasons. Now, these hateful messages revealed messages against India and the Indian Prime Minister, all scrawled up on the temple's walls. The wordings emphasized the need for a thorough investigation. The foundation also reported that the incident is a potential hate crime and has been reported to the Newark Police Department and the Department of Justice Civil Rights Division. Now, reacting to this particular vandalism incident, the Indian consulate in San Francisco has strongly condemned the defacement of the Swami Narayanan Mandir Vasana Sanstha. The consulate expressed deep concern, stating that the act had offended the sentiments of the Indian community, urging swift action. They confirmed that they had contacted US authorities to initiate a quick probe into the matter and take prompt actions against the perpetrators. Moving on, the French police have taken 2 men into custody. This just a day after grounding of a Nicaragua-bound airplane that was carrying over 300 Indian passengers. Now, the plane was grounded after it was suspected of being part of a human trafficking circuit. Now, Indian authorities have also reached the spot and are investigating the situation at the moment. France grounded the charter flight that was headed to Nicaragua. It was carrying about 303 Indian passengers, to be precise, on Friday, and a judicial investigation currently in the matter is underway. The Airbus A340, belonging to Romanian charter company Legend Airlines, had flown in from the United Arab Emirates and had landed at Vatry Airport in eastern France for a technical stopover. Next up, giving you a COVID-19 update. It's important that we start talking about it again. COVID-19 cases are going up in India again. There's a surge, there's an uptick. A new subvariant called JN.1 has emerged, with the first case reported in the state of Kerala. And in the last 24 hours, let's give you an update. West Bengal has reported 5 new cases, with 3 people in the hospital and 2 in home isolation. Rajasthan also reported 5 cases, along with 1 COVID-19 fatality as well. JN.1 is linked to the Omicron subvariant BA.2.86, but has extra mutation, making it more resistant and immune evasive. The World Health Organization has labeled the JN.1 as a variant of interest, which is particularly risky for older adults and those with multiple health issues, as warned by Dr. Rajeev Jayadevan of the IMA COVID Task Force. Now, India has 752 new infections, and the active cases have increased to 3,420. Globally, WHO reports a 52% increase in the new cases in the past month alone. And next up, in the aftermath of the terrorist attack that claimed the lives of 4 army soldiers just on Thursday in the Rajouri sector of Jammu and Kashmir, an extensive search operation is still underway to locate and apprehend the terrorists responsible. Now, the tragic incident occurred when terrorists ambushed 2 army vehicles transporting troops in Thanamandi in Rajouri. During the attack, 4 army personnel lost their lives and 3 others sustained hefty injuries. The confrontation unfolded at about 3:45 p.m. on Thursday, when terrorists opened fire on the 2 army vehicles passing through Dera Ki Gali in Rajouri's Poonch region. Now, in response to this grave threat, the security forces have intensified efforts to track down the ultras involved in the attack, emphasizing the importance of swiftly addressing the situation and ensuring the safety and security of the region. My colleague Ankit Bhatt has filed in a ground report from the region. Let's take a look at the latest updates.
राजौरी में आतंक के खिलाफ भारतीय सेना का महा ऑपरेशन का आज 3रा दिन है। लगातार इन्हीं जंगलों में भारतीय सेना की तरफ से जो सर्च ऑपरेशन है आतंक के खिलाफ वो चलाया जा रहा है। माना जा रहा है कि इन्हीं जंगलों में 3 से 4 आतंकी जो है वो छुपे हुए हैं, जिसके लिए महा ऑपरेशन सेना की तरफ से चलाया गया है। आपको बता दें कि 21 तारीख को 3:45 पे भारतीय सेना की तरफ से जब ये इंफॉर्मेशन सेना को आई कि 21 तारीख को इन्हीं घने जंगलों के अंदर, डीकेजी के घने जंगलों के अंदर आतंकी छुपे हुए हैं, तो उसके बाद सेना की तरफ से ऑपरेशन लॉन्च किया गया। 3:45 पे जब सेना की रीइंफोर्समेंट आती है तो उस वक्त 2 गाड़ियों पे आतंकियों की तरफ से फायरिंग की जाती है। हालांकि भारतीय सेना की तरफ से रिटेलिएट जो है वो भी किया जाता है, लेकिन आतंकी इन्हीं घने जंगलों के अंदर छुपे भाग जाते हैं और उसके बाद सेना की तरफ से 21 तारीख से ही महा ऑपरेशन चलाया जाता है, जिन्होंने इस कायराना हरकत को अंजाम दिया। तकरीबन सूत्रों से मिली जानकारी के मुताबिक 3 से 4 ऐसे आतंकी थे जिन्होंने इस आतंकी वारदात को अंजाम दिया है। वहीं आतंकी संगठन PAFF ने इस आतंकी हमले की जिम्मेदारी ली है और ऐसे में अब सुरक्षा बलों की तरफ से महा ऑपरेशन चलाया जा रहा है ताकि इन घने जंगलों के अंदर जहां पर भी आतंकी छुपे हुए हैं उनको न्यूट्रलाइज किया जाए। दरअसल इन घने जंगलों के अंदर कई नेचुरल केव्स हैं जिनको आतंकियों की तरफ से हाइडआउट की तरह इस्तेमाल किया जाता है। यही वजह है कि ऑपरेशन में इतना समय लग रहा है। आज तीसरा दिन है, लगातार सुरक्षा बल इन जंगलों के अंदर सर्च कर रहे हैं और अब जो ऑपरेशन है उसको काफी ज्यादा तेज कर दिया गया है ताकि जल्द से जल्द उन आतंकियों का खात्मा किया जाए।
Well, now the People's Anti-Fascist Front, the PAFF, like Ankit Bhatt was mentioning, has claimed responsibility for the Poonch terror attack in which 4 soldiers were killed. The terrorists also took to social media to release pictures from the attack site showcasing the use of sophisticated US-made M4 carbine assault rifles. Let's tell you a little bit about the M4 carbine assault rifles over here. Now, the M4 carbine is a lightweight gas-operated magazine-fed carbine that was developed in the United States during the 1980s. It is the primary infantry weapon of the United States' armed forces and has also been adopted by over 80 other countries. Now, the M4 is designed for close quarter combat and is very maneuverable. It is also accurate, reliable and well suited for a variety of combat situations, making it a popular choice for military and law enforcement personnel. Now, this is not the first time high-powered weapons have been used by terrorists in Kashmir. Since 2016, security forces have recovered 4 M4 rifles with steel bullets. Mind you, steel bullets from slain Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorists in the region. Steel bullets inflict greater damage and can easily penetrate vehicles and other forms of protection and armors as well. Now, meanwhile, as the encounter in the Rajouri sector continued on Saturday, take a look at this particular post on X. An infiltration bid was foiled in the international border at Khur in the Akhnur sector in Jammu district. The White Night Corps of the Indian Army informed through a social media post that there was suspected movement of 4 terrorists which was detected through surveillance devices on the intervening night of December 22nd and December 23rd. Effective fire was brought down and terrorists were later seen dragging one body back across the international border, ladies and gentlemen. And even as I'm telling you all of this, some latest information that we are in fact tracking at this particular moment is the fact that Jammu and Kashmir White Night Corps foiled an infiltration bid. A suspected move was seen through the surveillance and you can see that there is fire inside the entire forest area over there. The White Night Corps foiled an infiltration bid, this in the IB sector, the international border sector of Akhnur in the Jammu district. We'll try and put those visuals on your screens as soon as possible. A suspected move of 4 terrorists was seen through the surveillance devices late at night on the intervening night of December 22nd and December 23. The terrorists were brought down after effective fire, ladies and gentlemen. Some of those attack visuals that we have been able to get our hands on, we will quickly try and put them on the screens. Meanwhile, even as a search and combing operation continues in the Rajouri district, in Akhnur district of Jammu, the White Corps has corroborated this information. They have foiled an infiltration bid in the IB sector of Akhnur in Jammu district. This happened on the intervening night of 22nd and 23rd December. And the terrorists were brought down through the surveillance devices late at night. It could be, very well be night vision goggles or infrared viewing systems through which the army essentially saw one of the terrorists' body being dragged across the international border back to where they had come from. Search operations continue in Rajouri. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, 4 army personnel were killed in that ambush attack on the 2 vehicles that carried about half a dozen plus soldiers. 4 of them succumbed to the firing, 3 injured in nearby hospitals. Currently stable, their situation is what we're learning. And these are the latest visuals that we've tracked from the White Night Corps. This is the effective fire that was brought down in the Akhnur area.
उधर की हवा चल रही है।
आपकी जो नाट है ना बहुत ज्यादा निकलती है और कितने कितने हेड में आग।
Well, time for us to slip into a quick commercial break here. Lots more continues right on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
Bangalore traffic is an example of something that has gone wrong with our system.
We have more than 50 flyovers in Bangalore city. If flyover is a solution to traffic problem, Bangalore should not have traffic problem.
According to TomTom Traffic Index 2022, Bangalore is ranked as the second worst city in the world when it comes to traffic.
The speed limit at the ORR is 80 kilometers per hour, but our vehicle has only moved 10 kilometers per hour.
What Bangalore needs is a surgery, but what we have been offered repeatedly are band-aids.
Only on the world's first news OTT. News 9 Plus, ahead of the curve.
Since the last 2 years, Khalistani terror groups are threatening Indian diplomats in Canada, US, UK and Australia. Investigations of these threats led us to the first ever abduction and killing of an Indian diplomat, Ravindra Matre, in UK's Birmingham in 1984. Our months-long investigation finally led us to the murderer of Ravindra Matre, who has been hiding in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir for the last 40 years. Watch our exclusive documentary, Murder of an Indian Diplomat, where we reveal the man who killed Ravindra Matre.
Stop searching, start streaming. Download the world's first news OTT, News 9 Plus, ahead of the curve.
वर्ष 2070 तक भारत नेट जीरो का लक्ष्य हासिल करेगा।
There is certainly a wall of capital coming into the clean tech, climate tech space, not just in India but across the world.
This and more, streaming on world's first news OTT, News 9 Plus. Download now.
जानना है तो देखिए, समझना है तो सुनिए, सीखना है तो पूछिए और कमाना है तो खरीदिए। जानकारी, सलाह और निवेश सब एक ही सुपर ऐप पर। पैसे का सवाल है तो जवाब है मनी 9। आजादी पैसे की, अभी डाउनलोड करें।
Welcome back. You're watching News 9 Live, bringing you up to speed in terms of the pollution problem here in the national capital. And just on Friday, the central government reinstated the third stage of its anti-pollution measures in Delhi as the air quality index reached 409 at about 4 p.m. yesterday, categorizing it as severe. Consequently, non-essential construction activities and the operation of BS3 petrol and BS4 diesel four-wheelers in the national capital area have been prohibited. The Commission for Air Quality Management, the CAQM, a statutory body tasked with devising strategies to address pollution in the region, has identified unfavorable weather conditions, specifically fog and haze coupled with low wind speed, as the primary contributions to the sudden escalations in pollution levels in the national capital. Now, Delhi's overall air quality index. It exhibited a steady increase throughout the day. It reached at about 409 at about 4 p.m. But we have reactions coming across from the Delhi's Environment Minister Gopal Rai. A bit of a tongue twister there, beg your pardon. But before that, let's listen in to my colleague who's filed in a ground report from the Kartavya Path this very morning.
दिल्ली में एक बार फिर हवा की गति मंद पड़ने और हवा की दिशा बदलने के कारण वायु प्रदूषण बढ़ गया है। दिल्ली गैस चैम्बर में तब्दील हो चुकी है। दिल्ली में अगर AQI की बात की जाए तो औसत AQI आज 441 है, जबकि कई ऐसे इलाके हैं दिल्ली में जहां पर जो हवा की कैटेगरी है वो बेहद खराब स्तर तक पहुंच चुकी है। दिल्ली में अगर बात की जाए शुक्रवार की तो दिल्ली का औसत AQI 409 था और 24 ऐसे इलाके थे जहां पर एयर क्वालिटी इंडेक्स वेरी पुअर कैटेगरी में पहुंच चुका था। हवा की दिशा शुक्रवार को नॉर्थ ईस्ट से साउथ ईस्ट की तरफ थी, लेकिन आज शनिवार की बात की जाए तो ये दक्षिण से पूर्व की तरफ चल रही है और हवा की जो गति है वो लगभग 9 किलोमीटर प्रति घंटे की रफ्तार से है। और यही वजह है कि दिल्ली में अचानक से प्रदूषण बढ़ गया है और दिल्ली गैस चैम्बर में तब्दील हो चुकी है। आप देख सकते हैं कि सुबह सुबह दिल्ली के अलग अलग इलाकों में कुछ फॉग और स्मॉग की चादर है। ठंड काफी ज्यादा बढ़ चुकी है। जो तापमान है वो सुबह 6 बजे 10 डिग्री सेल्सियस दर्ज किया गया और दिल्ली के अलग अलग इलाकों में अगर एयर क्वालिटी इंडेक्स की बात की जाए तो आप देख सकते हैं कि ये दिल्ली का जो एयर क्वालिटी इंडेक्स अलीपुर में 445 है, शादीपुर में 477 तक ये पहुंच चुका है, जबकि जो अलग अलग इलाके सीरी फोर्ट में 435 है, ITO पे 472 है, मंदिर मार्ग का जो इलाका है वहां पर भी 448 है, RK पुरम में 466, पंजाबी बाग में 475 तक पहुंच चुका है। जबकि आप देखेंगे कि पूसा रोड पे 409 और मथुरा रोड पर 432 है। इसके अलावा JLN स्टेडियम के पास 451 और द्वारका में 437 है, जबकि पटपड़गंज में 462 है। यानी कि दिल्ली के ज्यादातर इलाकों की अगर बातचीत की जाए तो एयर क्वालिटी इंडेक्स वो 400 के ऊपर पहुंच चुका है। 200 के ऊपर जब एयर क्वालिटी इंडेक्स होता है तो हवा को खराब कैटेगरी में माना जाता है और फिलहाल जो हवा की स्थिति है वो बेहद खराब कैटेगरी में है और इसीलिए दिल्ली में एक बार फिर से ग्रेडेड रेस्पॉन्स एक्शन प्लान यानी GRAP 4 को लागू किया गया है और इसके तहत जो BS3 की पेट्रोल और BS4 की डीजल गाड़ियां हैं उन पर बैन लगा दिया गया और इसके साथ ही कंस्ट्रक्शन पर पूरी तरीके से रोक लगा दिया गया है। लोगों को एक बार फिर जैसे ही वायु प्रदूषण बढ़ा तो सांस लेने में तकलीफ होने लगी, आंखों में जलन होने लगी और यही वजह है कि डॉक्टर अब लोगों को सलाह दे रहे हैं कि वो लोग सुबह के मॉर्निंग वॉक से बचें, हो सके तो घरों से बिना काम के ना निकलें। बुजुर्ग और बच्चे और गर्भवती महिलाएं अपना खास तौर से ख्याल रखें। जिस तरीके से सर्दी बढ़ रही है, हवा की जो रफ्तार है वो कम हो रही है और हवा की दिशा बदली और यही वजह है कि अब एक बार फिर दिल्ली में वायु प्रदूषण बेहद खराब स्तर तक पहुंच चुका है।
ग्रैप 3 के नियम को लागू करने का जो मुख्य प्रभाव है वो कंस्ट्रक्शन गतिविधियों पर, निर्माण और विध्वंस की जो गतिविधियां हैं और BS3 पेट्रोल और BS4 डीजल की जो गाड़ियां हैं जो दिल्ली के अंदर चल रही थीं उनके ऊपर इसका प्रभाव पड़ेगा। आज सभी दिल्ली के अंदर जितने 28 डिपार्टमेंट्स हैं जो अलग अलग प्रदूषण नियंत्रण की गतिविधियों में सहयोग करते हैं, उन सभी लोगों को अलर्ट जारी कर दिया गया है कि वो ग्रैप 3 के अंतर्गत जो प्रतिबंध हैं उनको लागू करने के लिए अपने टीमों को दोबारा एक्टिवेट करें, जिससे कि जल्द ही इस गंभीर जो स्थिति है प्रदूषण की उससे बाहर आया जा सके।
Well, next up, take a look at this. In an exclusive interview with News 9's Deputy Managing Editor, Kartikeya Sharma, Congress MP from Tamil Nadu, Sivaganga, Karthi Chidambaram, said that on the parliament breach issue, all that the opposition wanted was a statement from the Home Minister in the presence of the Prime Minister. He went on to say that since their demands were not met, they were forced.
Welcome to the interview. Turbulent winter session of Parliament ended a day ahead of the schedule. Country witnessed a logjam, unprecedented. 140 opposition MPs were suspended. The session was held against the backdrop of the result of the assembly polls in 5 states. Then the parliament security breach took place. Then the mimicry controversy took place. On this issue, I am joined by an MP from Tamil Nadu, Sivaganga, Karthi Chidambaram. A very warm welcome to you, Karthi, on my show, The Interview. And let me straight away ask you, why did this session fail?
No, this session failed only because of the ego of the government. After the December 13th trespass, security failure, intelligence failure and intrusion into the Lok Sabha, all we wanted was a statement from the Home Minister in presence of the Prime Minister. They could have easily given a statement on what happened and what is the way forward, and the entire House would have been won. But the ego of the government prevented them from doing that, and our legitimate requests, demands were not met. Then we were forced to protest, and then en masse we have been suspended. Nowhere in the democratic world can you suspend practically the entire opposition and get away with it. But in India, they have got away with it because they have a brute majority, and we can't expect the judiciary to step in on this issue. And they have been ramming through laws one after another. Yes, they would have passed them even if we were there, but we didn't even have an opportunity to record our dissent or a divergent view to these far-reaching laws they have brought about, which is going to have a huge impact on day-to-day life of the people of India. So this is totally, if this is going to be the trend, this is the end of parliamentary democracy.
But Karthi, why are you then still losing the battle of perception? If you look at the wider narrative outside, BJP didn't lose sympathy. Why has that happened?
No, we are going to communicate. We are going to go. We are constituency MPs. We will be traveling far and wide. We will definitely articulate a point of view. We will say how this government, which touts itself as a government of national security, is actually incompetent, is not able to even put proper protocols in Parliament to prevent an intrusion or an attack. I mean, just because there were no fatalities, don't underplay the import of the intrusion. If the two intruders had sarin gas or anthrax, there would have been huge fatalities. Instead of that, thank God they had some inert gas. And the security protocol failures, intelligence failures, and then silencing the opposition for asking a legitimate demands, then bringing about these far-reaching laws which are going to have such an impact. I mean, you have now amended how you are going to appoint the Chief Election Commissioner. I mean, now you don't even need that committee anymore. It's going to be the Prime Minister, a Cabinet Minister and the Leader of the Opposition. It's already 2-1. We don't even need to go for the committee anymore. And then you're in the guise of amending the IPC and sort of decolonizing it, you have made it's still very colonial, and you have made it far more draconian. I mean, many people have said why it's draconian. I can easily articulate why it's more draconian. Then you've got a telecommunications bill which allows all kinds of interceptions, which even wants encrypted messaging services to give the back end. I don't know how they are going to give the back end. I probably think they won't give the back end. Then we'll have to figure out how they are going to operate in India. And then the postal bill, which allows you to intercept any letter in the guise of national security. This umbrella of national security allows and empowers the government to do a whole host of things which are completely intrusive, anti-privacy, and can be easily weaponized to target political opponents.
I mean, to say, all these points could have been made in the parliament, all these points will be made by the opposition party in their constituencies.
We were.
But Karthi, my question is very straight. Generally, people think all these issues from the perspective of why this and why that. I am asking you, this one-day protest of Jantar Mantar is a shoot and scoot thing. I mean, say, where is a long campaign? The only long campaign your party had against the government was Bharat Jodo. This is one day of protest.
Jantar Mantar is because the day after, nobody is saying Jantar Mantar is the be-all and end-all of it. Parliament ended yesterday, so all the floor leaders and all the MPs are here. So we were able to congregate all of them together. But now we will fan out to the nooks and corner of India from today onwards. I will also be leaving tomorrow. All of us will leave tomorrow and we'll go to the nooks and corner of India and articulate. The fact I'm even talking to you today is in a way trying to win over hearts and minds with our point of view.
No, that's perfectly fair, but my question is that, it's the responsibility of the opposition to create the narrative. I mean, so it will never be the responsibility of the government to give you that space, Karthi.
No, I am not asking the government to do us any favors. I'm just asking the government to be democratic within parliament. That's all I'm asking. But we will go out, we will articulate. I, to the best of my ability, will definitely articulate. I will speak. We have a party mechanism in my constituency and in my state, and we'll use it. And I'm sure my colleagues will do the same everywhere else, and all the alliance partners will do the same everywhere else. Of course, we need to communicate better. Of course, we need to have a counter narrative. At the same time, we also need to tell what's happening. I mean, how far-reaching consequences these new laws are going to have on the daily life of people.
The issue in Parliament was two-pronged. One was the breach, and another doesn't belong to your house, but I would definitely like you to speak, this mimicry issue. How do you see this mimicry issue? The President of India,
listen to me,
the entire party, the public protest, how do you look at it? They all came out in his support.
No. First, it is not just a mere security breach. It is an intelligence failure. There were 6 people who were conspiring for a long time. They have done a dry run. They have discovered that the shoes are not checked. They have discovered that the plastic is not detected by these scanners. This government has spent so much money on scanners and they can't detect plastic. So a Unabomber kind of situation could have happened. So that is a colossal intelligence failure. There is a colossal security failure. Then the response of the security staff within the parliament was also very sloppy. They were not swift. They are not necessarily trained to deal with these kind of situations. So the whole system, it exposed the fact that this government doesn't have the wherewithal to manage. Their management capacity is pretty poor. What they are very good at is in propaganda. So they are trying to divert serious issues by sideshows. I am in no way condoning the behavior of a member of another political party in the steps of parliament. I am not doing that. But to make that the centrality of all the issues is rather unfortunate. You have expelled one member for a vehement critic of the government. You had a security breach. You have suspended 146 members. You have ran through laws in parliament without any discussion or debate, without ever recording divergent points of view. And then you want to ask me about a sideshow of one member? Yeah, I mean many found it distasteful. I mean, it could have been avoided, but that's not the centrality of issues we should be talking about. We should be talking about how D.K. Basu, the judgment in D.K. Basu has been completely watered down with this new law. I mean, the kind of draconian police powers that have been given to the authorities. That's what we should be talking about, not about some sideshow.
No, the sideshow is important because it has been politicized, Karthi. I mean, the chair himself said it's a matter of his community. The President of India tweeted about it.
That is very unfortunate. I mean, come on. So shall I say that I mean, I don't belong to any community. I do not know what class I belong to. But if any satire on me, any kind of spoof on me, any kind of attack on me, any cartoon on me is an attack on the entire class of people I support. I mean, or belong to. I don't understand that. I mean, you've traveled wide. If you in America, every late night talk show host makes fun of the president. Every single night. Not one night goes away with that. You've seen Saturday Night Live. You've seen all these stand-up comics. You've seen the talk show hosts. I mean, come on. I mean,
are you saying that Mr. Dhankar
does? It's satire. It happened.
Are you saying that he doesn't have a sense of humor?
Pardon? I think so. I think so. I mean, he could have found it distasteful. He could have left it, but to sort of to prolong this issue and to sort of dwell on this as if this is the centrality of all the issues of India is facing. I think that's actually trivializing what else this country is going through. I mean, I think it's also very ingenious on their part to divert this attention there, which in fact merits no more attention than the length of the act itself.
Okay, let me take this conversation to a different direction. The issues which really concerns a political party. For political party, the biggest worry can be that they become absent from the areas of operation. Do you feel that the results which came out and the wipeout of the Congress in North India is a cause of big worry? The party has lost its entire steam before the Lok Sabha?
First of all, I do not agree with the word wipeout. You see, in a first past the post system, you know that a marginal uptick in your vote share can give you a disproportionate number of seats. Yes, we have lost Madhya Pradesh with a slightly higher delta, but Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh, the delta is very small. And the victory in Telangana is somehow overshadowed by these three results. If the Telangana result had been a standalone election, that would have given a big uplift to our mood. I understand what has happened in the three states. In Madhya Pradesh, it's actually been a bit of a shocker. Even though our vote share has not gone down, the BJP's vote share has gone up. But in the other two states, in Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan, it's been very marginal. I mean, had we had a tactical alliance with a few political parties, the result could have been different. And in Rajasthan, you have this theory called ulta pulti, which I learned recently, how you do ulta pulti on the roti. That's what people do with governments every ulta pulta every 5 years. So that's the narrative in Rajasthan. So it's not a wipeout. Don't ever say the Congress gets wiped out. I mean, in a parliamentary democracy, you can just have a marginal victory but have a disproportionate number of seats. Like in parliament, the BJP wins only 31% of the votes last time, but they have nearly 60% of the seat. We won 19% of the vote. We only have 10% of the seats.
Do you think there's a South-North divide? BJP is absent in South and the Congress has no space in North?
That the point is that in the linguistic states, the states which do not speak Hindi as their first language and as a native language, definitely seem to be successfully pushing out the BJP because of their one this, one that, their Hindi-Hindutva politics. So Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Andhra, the pushback is greater. But there is the divide in the South-North is because of language and the way that we perceive politics. But there are other differences as well in the South, and there are legitimate concerns the South has, particularly about a new delimitation which comes about. If it ever comes about purely on the basis of population, we will get disenfranchised. And economic parameters, of course, there is a difference. So there is a difference, but that's not some kind of it's not a divide. There's a difference, but it's not a divide between North and South.
And lastly, before I let go of you, do you think that the older leaders really spoiled Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, their squabbles, and where one person was in charge in Telangana, he delivered the state?
No, I think the people who are in charge in the Hindi-speaking states are all very, very seasoned campaigners. I think what we missed out was some tactical alliances which we should have made. You see, really in elections today, tactical ground-level alliances are very important, and we probably missed that out in the Hindi-speaking states. So that's my reading of the situation.
And lastly, before I let go of you, this is the second part of the Bharat Jodo Yatra. The Bharat Jodo Yatra created great momentum for the Congress party, but if you look at the results, only Telangana made the best of it, and now it's starting from east to the west. Do you think that it will have the capacity to create the same momentum, keeping in mind the results that are out now?
No, the Bharat Jodo Yatra will definitely add value to the party, but we still need to have a ground game. We need to have an organization. We need to have an organization which is just keeping in touch with people all the time, not necessarily only during elections. So if we have an organization on the ground, that can leverage the energy of the Bharat Jodo Yatra.
What is the ground game?
We need to have party functionaries who are constantly interacting with the people, intervening where necessary, and constantly having some sort of a conversation with the people on social and political issues at the ground level. And we need to have, the BJP has social organizations outside the party which aids them in that exercise, whereas we don't have that. That is a shortcoming we have.
So how do you make up for that? It cannot be done in a 6 months' time, and RSS took more than 50 years.
It can't be done in the short term. I agree. It's not something which can be replicated immediately, but political parties can create narratives on the ground. And politics is very local. While there is a national trend, but the local ground game has to be strong. People have to be in local government. People need to be legislators. People need to keep on intervening and sort of having conversations all the time.
Thank you, Karthi Chidambaram, for joining me on my special show, The
Thank you
Interview.
very much.
Thank you so much. So this was Karthi Chidambaram on my special show, The Interview, talking about why the Parliament session failed.
Currently, the industry is facing a lot of challenges as far as demand is concerned. Basically, the US markets has slowed down because of high inflation.
So obviously, diamonds being a dream product, something which doesn't have a utility value or is seen as a luxury. So that obviously goes off your shopping list. That's the first item that will go off your shopping list, especially in recessionary trends.
That lab-grown diamonds are not mined, and they do away with the entire mining. So they save up on all the environmental damage that is associated with mining, and of course, the mining cost, which is why they're even more affordable.
People that is impacted by all these recessions are the artisans, are the people who work in this industry.